What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one comic book character, as we do every single week. We talk their good points, their bad points, and generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun Meehan. Shaun, how is it going?
Oh, Connor, I was left unattended for a period of a few minutes, and I seem to have gargled some sand.
Yeah. Now, Shaun, we have a sick boy this week. Now, I am assured it's nothing more serious than just a general sickness around the winter months.
It's just a bit of a sore throat. I went to bed with wet hair. It was not one of my best moves.
No, oh, jeez, you catch pneumonia.
A double pneumonia, Connor.
Double pneumonia. So, yeah, you have a sore throat this week, and so we were thinking, it's very lucky that it's my Hero or Zero. And actually, I will let everyone in, before we started this episode, we were checking our microphones, and I said, Shaun was having a bit of trouble with his, and I said, Shaun, I'll leave you to it, and I'll go to the bathroom, and I'll come back. And when I come back, I say, lovingly, as a friend, oh, did you get your mic sorted? And the response was a recording of him going, Connor's a bitch, Connor's a bitch. So that is where we are.
And look, the microphone worked, folks. So, you're welcome.
So this week, Shaun, as last week, you took a DC character.
I did.
And for V for Vendetta, this week I decided to pick a character that we have done her father previously on Hero or Zero, but we've not covered her, and she is also one of the biggest badasses in DC.
Oh, who could this... Oh, I think I know. This week I am doing Rose Wilson, otherwise known as Ravager, who's kind of connected to Slade Wilson in that he's her papa. I did not foresee this. This is not who I thought it was.
Who did you think it was?
I thought it was Talia al Ghul.
No, it's Rose Wilson I'm doing this week. So Ravager, she's the fourth Ravager. So there's been several other ones. And she is Slade Wilson's daughter, who is just as much of a badass as he is. I would even say she could become more powerful.
Oh, she has the potential to be better than... Slade Wilson, for anyone that didn't listen to her report, Deathstroke, one of the biggest mercenaries in DC Comics.
Possibly one of the most fearsome fighters. It's probably him, Lady Shiva and Batman, if you're going to go into a fighting contest.
And then right under that, George Clooney, Batman.
And then George Clooney. That's normally where I sacked him, yes. No, you're dead right. So, Deathstroke is, of course, bad guy, mercenary for hire. But he does have a daughter, and she is just as much of a badass. But she's also a lot different from her father in that she's both good and bad, depending on certain situations.
Okay, a killer with a heart of gold, perhaps.
Yeah, she gives to charity and then kills all the children.
Like George Clooney Batman, of course.
The exact same. So this week, as I said, we're doing Rose Wilson. The creators of the character were Marv Wolfman, who appears a lot in these lists, Art Nichols and Will Blyberg. And so Rose's first appearance in comic books was in Deathstroke the Terminator in October of 1992. So she only appeared in the 90s. I'm only going to be doing the new pre-New 52, so up to 2011 in this report.
Okay.
But as for her origin, so a few years after his divorce from Adeline Kane, Slade Wilson, the mercenary known as Deathstroke, are we all clear? Also, Deathstroke the Terminator is his full name.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, they gave him Deathstroke and they were like, let's make him cooler. The Terminator.
What's something that could add a bit of edge to this character?
The Deathstroke. Took a search and rescue mission under contract. Slade met a woman named Lillian Wirt, a princess whose life fell in ruins after her kingdom was destroyed. It was Slade's mission to bring Lily from war-torn Cambodia to Thailand, where she would have relative freedom. Now, although this mission was successful, during the journey, Slade and Lillian became lovers as well. They had a few side eyes, a bit of romance.
I'm not sure what you're saying, Connor. Can you lay it out clearly for me?
I've never connected with another woman.
Oh!
They had a bit of hanky-panky.
Hanky-panky. Is that one of the Teletubbies?
I think that's sex.
All right.
All right, yeah. Fill in the gaps.
Just tone it down a bit, Connor.
A bit outrageous. Slade and Lillian remained in contact, embarking on an on-off love affair whenever their paths crossed. During one of these affairs, Slade impregnated Lillian, who later gave birth to Rose Wirt. Now, Lillian kept Rose a secret from Slade, which you would, rationalising that it was in the child's best interest to do so, because she's thinking, well, her father is Deathstroke, the Terminator. It's probably not going to be the most balanced childhood for her.
No, like Rose the Terminator would not do well at Scouts.
Like, she's going along, like, building a campfire, and they're just like, that's fucking Rose the Terminator. And, like, a wild bear arrives, she's like, I fucking got this, teeth in her knife between her teeth, and she's 5.
She just goes full Rambo on the bear.
So, Lillian eventually moved to America and settled just outside New York. Now, she established a brothel, so Lillian not the best mother of the year so far herself.
Well, look, she's got her own business.
She's got her interests, brothels, and she lived in a life of luxury alongside Rose. Despite the environment, Rose was raised with other children her age and was schooled by private tutors for all of her life. She not only received a happy childhood, but was also taught how to defend herself from a very young age.
Okay, that's a very sensible way to raise a child, I would guess.
Nothing can go wrong here. She's been obviously she has a bit of a difficult past. Her father is Deathstroke the Terminator.
Well,
but
of course.
She's been protected from all of that, Shaun. So now she can move on.
If I know anything from storytelling, she'll take this wealth of experience and go forth to greener pastures in life to make a better world for herself and everyone.
She now leads the UN, is the end of this report.
She's Angela Merkel.
So when Slade was injured on the Lamb from the Law, Lillian took him in. So Slade gets injured on a mission that's around New York, and he realises Lillian is about to play, so he goes and visits her, and she takes him in and nurses his wounds. It was at this time that Slade's butler, Wintergreen, met 14-year-old Rose Wirt and suspected immediately that Slade was her father.
Because she turned up in this black and orange mask. It was weird.
Look at my Halloween costume, ma'am. Look what I did.
I've killed several men.
But only for money. Years later, Deathstroke's half-brother, Wade Lafarge, which is a fucking ridiculous name.
Fucking Slade Wilson got lucky there, didn't he?
Slade Wilson is such a... How do you go... Slade Wilson, and he topped it with Deathstroke the Terminator, and your brother's called Wade Lafarge.
The fucking bitch boy.
Well, I know you're saying that because Wade had a bit of a... I mean, he's a very aggressive man because he's called Wade Lafarge. And also, they couldn't call him Wade Wilson, by the way, if you see that logic.
I see, because Deadpool.
Yeah, yes. And so he's Deathstroke's half-brother, and he was using the name Ravager. He was the third Ravager. And he went on a full killing spree, trying to kill all of Deathstroke's friends and family.
Right.
So Lafarge discovered Rose. He discovered Rose and captured her. And as Ravager tortured Rose, he also revealed to her that Slade Wilson was her father. Meanwhile, Wintergreen, the butler from earlier, and Lillian, her mother, launched a rescue attempt. No sign of Deathstroke. He's not there. He doesn't give a shit.
And do Wintergreen and Lillian have any powers?
No, but they're just nice people.
Okay, they're going to use the force of good that is just being polite. And they're going to say, please, give our daughter back.
Please, come on. Eventually, Lillian and Wintergreen reached her quarry in the snow-covered wilderness. In the mountains, he took her. And to save her daughter, Lillian attempted to run over Ravager in a jeep. But her jeep careened off a cliff and exploded. Lillian was presumed dead, but her body was never recovered, Shaun.
See, that's the thing about jeeps. They say all terrain, but they don't. That doesn't cover air.
Doesn't cover gravity. Bastards.
The final terrain.
So Wintergreen and Rose Wintergreen eventually saved Rose, and they were able to elude Ravager and escaped. Slade thought it would be best if Rose had nothing to do with him, since he felt he brought about the death of both of his sons already. Fearing he's already 0-2 for his Slade.
And now he's set up for the third, but his nerves are getting to him.
The pressure. He's under seen his name in lights and he's shitting himself.
Nah, come on, Slade, you can go 3 for 3 on causing your children's deaths.
What's another one? What is another one like?
At this point,
what do you have to lose? So, fearing he would not be a good father, that is very much like subtle in their criticisms there, but really a very large signal should be laying out. He's definitely not a good father.
No, take your child to work day is a different scenario in the Wilson household.
I was going to bring him, but he died yesterday. It's another one. What can you do? So fearing he would not be a good father, he left Rose primarily in the care of Wintergreen, who was prepared to adopt the girl. Slade, however, had already made arrangements with Sarge Steele to place her in protective custody with the Teen Titans.
Oh, the superhero team, the Teen Titans.
Notoriously, Deathstroke's biggest what's the antagonist. He hates them.
Yeah, so he was the bad guy in the TV show. I remember that much, and he's also
Nightwing's biggest villain. He's like Nightwing's Joker.
He's Nightwing's father, correct.
Nightwing is now also dead in comics.
That's the safest way to kill off any superhero, is have Deathstroke adopt them.
Jason Todd adopted by Deathstroke. Not many people know that.
Moments before the crowbar.
He signed the papers while Joker was beating the shit out of him.
He keeps trying to turn over a new leaf and be like, oh, I'll look after this young kid.
He comes skipping out of the courthouse like, yeah, I've got another kid. And he just answers the phone. What's that? Warehouse exploded. Oh, alright. Oh, Jesus. Okay, right. Fuck it.
They're not going to believe it. Not again.
And so he gets on to Sarge Steele, who oversaw the group during this stage, and he says he saw the potential in the young girl. Although he also found her to be prone to violence and a bit unstable, which makes sense because her mother, remember, has died, and her only leader is now Deathstroke.
That's not the best role model, I would say, for an impressionable child.
So Rose Wilson, or Ravager, she's not Ravager at the minute, but she joins the Teen Titans. And during her brief time at the team, Rose befriended many of the younger members of the team, and during a training exercise with Damage, Rose was injured and almost fell into a coma. As she was brought to the hospital, her meta-gene powers kicked in, Shaun.
She's a meta-human?
Rose had an extensive precognitive vision where she saw her father's future. She appeared as an astral form, witnessing Deathstroke's future unfold in front of her, in which he was fighting Hawkman. During this jaunt, Rose was able to project her astral form and inhabit the body of someone in the future. Similar to her brother, Jericho, who is also Deathstroke's son. He is still alive.
Oh, okay. So he's not completely without children left to have killed.
I'm unsure. Did Jericho die at one stage? Jericho was part of the Judas Contract storyline in the Teen Titans, and he's actually in the Titans TV show as well. He's a mute. Okay. But he can travel into other people's bodies, and he was definitely good, so I think Deathstroke kind of denounced him anyway. But it's interesting that Jericho, who is also has... Slade is just... He's injected himself with those powers, but weirdly his children seem to carry that in their DNA.
Interesting. So he would have passed it on, presumably.
Yeah.
And that's how they have it. That's cool.
So before Rose could explore these abilities further, she recovered at the hospital, thus ending her dream vision. So she kind of just got a sense and then it was gone.
She just grew out of it.
She was like in the hospital in a coma, and then she had it, and then she woke up and she was like, I don't know how to get that back. And so, still reeling over the death of her mother, Rose became sullen and somewhat reckless. Fellow Titan Donna tried to reach out to her, but Rose rejected her because Rose thought Donna was a bit of a bitch, to be honest with you. I remember reading that. Fellow Titan Impulse also developed a crush on Rose, but she was oblivious to his affections. Rose was not a Titan for very long. She eventually left the team to embark on her own, as she was like, no, I don't belong here yet. I need to figure out who I am. And so she goes to live with a lovely family called the Madison family, who are one of her mother's friends. Now, Shaun, I know what you're thinking. The Madison family, are they okay? Perfectly fine at the minute.
Now, Connor, you've said something there that makes me fear for the safety of the Madison family.
Well, Rose has stayed with them. And sure, the only person that could come looking for her is, possibly Deathstroke. And maybe the other Ravager guy.
Oh, it's not looking good for the Madisons.
So Rose was adopted by the Madison family, and she enjoyed a short period of normal life.
Oh, see, again, there's the little caveats that make me worry.
Until she had an even longer period of normal life. No, that's not the next line.
Never the next line.
Until Wade the Farge showed up. And he killed off all of the Madisons and attempts to collect a bounty that was on Rose's head.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wait, who set the bounty?
Shaun, now that is interesting. So Wade the Farge kills off the Madisons and attempts to collect the bounty on Rose. The Teen Titans arrive. This is Teen Titans Volume 3, so like 2003 run, and this is probably one of my favourite versions of that team. It's Tim Drake is the Robin, you've got Wonder Girl, Cyborg, all the favourites are there. Beast Boy and Starfire. So they all turn up and they're like to stop him and protect Rose. But everyone gets gassed. Like this gas canister gets thrown in, everyone passes out. It turns out the gas was thrown in by one Mr. Deathstroke, and Rose wakes to find herself in Deathstroke's lair, where he offers to train her. And she accepts. But then immediately finds her first task, as Deathstroke stands to the side, is that she has to kill Wade the Farge right in front of Deathstroke. At first she's like, no, like I'm not a killer. And he's like, well, that's the only way I'm going to take you. And then she says, and so he hands her a gun, and she says no, and it's a really cool comic panel, because she's like, no. And you see Deathstroke's face like, what do you mean no? And she hands him back the gun, she says, give me the sword, I want to make it slow.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, no. She's fallen. She's fallen to the dark side.
And so she kills him without mercy and takes his name, Ravager. Little does she know, Shaun, that Slade has been slowly drugging her with the same serum that gives him powers.
Oh, no. So I was just say that's not what a good father would do.
No, well, also, this next line is not good, because this is a question that you asked earlier on. Also unknown to Rose is that her father had hired Wade the Farge to kill her adoptive family in an attempt to draw her closer to him.
It's all coming together now.
Deathstroke took the bounty out on his own daughter.
Like a psychopath.
Like a Deathstroke.
Like a the Terminator.
Like a the Terminator indeed. And so she is now fully like, everyone that she loved is dead or has been killed in front of her, and she's like, all I have is Deathstroke. So she has a lot of Stockholm Syndrome currently.
I mean, you would. Look, she's been through a lot, God help her. She's 16 at this time?
She's 16, yes.
Yeah, that's you know what, I can't say I would do any different if I was 16 and in that position.
Now, interestingly, along this same timeline, Nightwing was actually, he had kind of given up being a hero. He'd become disenfranchised by the whole thing in the comic books. It was like a run where Nightwing was like, I'm no longer Nightwing. You get that a lot in comic books, where Spider-Man's like, Spider-Man no more kind of thing. So he was going through that spell here. And so you see Ravager, and she gets into a fight one night with Batgirl. Now, Batgirl at the time was played by Miss Cassandra Cain, who we have covered on this show, and Cassandra Cain is possibly... Actually, that list I did earlier on with Lady Shiva, Deathstroke and Batman, I would put Cassandra Cain on that list also.
Yeah, resident badass of DC Comics. Trained by the biggest killers in DC Comics.
Yes. And so Cassandra Cain was Batman at the time, and so she drops down. She's like, I'm gonna fuck up Batgirl. And Cassandra Cain was Batgirl, I should say, not Batman.
I was gonna just let it slide.
So she drops down and she's like, I'm gonna fight Batgirl. Batgirl kicks the shit out of her, which, I mean, no reflection on Rose. Cassandra Cain is just a badass. And when she recovered, Deathstroke decides that she needs to be placed under the tutelage of somebody else, because she's not ready yet. And he actually places her under the tutelage of Nightwing, who leads Slade to believe that he has given up being a hero.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now she's under one of the good guys.
But one of the disenfranchised good guys. So Slade thinks she's giving her to a guy that, first of all, he knows Nightwing is a good fighter because they've fought so many times. But secondly, the idea is, well, if he's disenfranchised and he's the best hero they have, he's the perfect person to be able to lead her further along in the dark side.
Yeah, now, from what I know of Nightwing, he could be disenfranchised as all fuck. He's still not going to do the wrong thing.
No,
like on purpose.
But Slade doesn't realise that at the time. So Nightwing agrees to train Rose, while also teaching her the values, and then secretly decides that he's also going to teach her the values of heroism, right? On the down low, like. And so, so Rose immediately begins to like Nightwing, because Nightwing treats her quite nicely and actually talks to her like a human, whereas Deathstroke kind of beats the shit out of her if she does something wrong. And so they develop a quick bond, and I think it's hinted that Rose has a bit of a crush on him, but like, she's 16, he's 27 or whatever, so I don't know. It was just a kind of, I think it's implied that she's like, oh, Nightwing is so great, he's so nice.
That's true, and also, who doesn't have a crush on Nightwing? He's the best. Doesn't?
Little Dicky, as he is. So, but in order to test Grayson's loyalty, Deathstroke immediately begins to think, I think Nightwing might be leading her along the wrong path. And in order to test Grayson's loyalty, Deathstroke replaces Rose's... also, I will say this, I should have mentioned this, but Deathstroke at one point is like, you're not loyal to me. And to basically get back at him, she rips out her own eye. She cuts out her own eye to prove how loyal she is to him. Because
he lost an eye, and it's the one thing he can't grow back. Isn't that correct?
Yes. And so she's like, I'm just like you, father. He's like, you're not strong enough. This is like during her teachings. And he's like, you're not strong enough. And so to prove how strong she is, she chops out her own eye.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, and so...
anything with eyes in, like, media really fucks with me.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good at all. You hated Mission Impossible 2.
Is that the one with the knife?
Yeah, it's the one with the knife.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
And so, Deathstroke decides that to test Grayson's loyalty, he replaces Rose's missing eye with one card from Kryptonite, and pits her and Nightwing against Superman in a fight. Right? So now he's like, Nightwing, you have to fight Superman. If you're really loyal to me and her, you have to fight her. You have to fight with her against Superman, because Superman's going to kick the shit out of her if you don't join in.
So you have to fight the good guy to protect, essentially, your friend at this point.
Yes. Exactly. And so Rose attempts to kill Superman, but Nightwing uses Superman's concern for safety of not only the bystanders but Rose herself as her final lesson on heroism. And so he's using the fight. Deathstroke at this point still thinks he's in charge, but Nightwing is like still using this fight to be like, see, Superman's not killing you. He could easily kill you, but we're trying to help you. And she's still full of anger. And so she has like a kryptonite eye, and she's fully trying to kill Superman.
Jesus.
Nightwing then agrees with Deathstroke to stay away from Rose on the condition that Bloodhaven remained off limits to the latest incarnation of a group called the Secret Society, of which Slade is a charter member. And so Nightwing's like, right, I'll leave your door alone because I'm clearly making her realise that you're not the nicest man in the world. And he's like, I'll leave her alone, but you have to leave Bloodhaven alone, which Bloodhaven is Nightwing's city. And
has enough problems of its own.
Enough problems of its own, yeah. So Slade is like, okay, fair enough. I'll leave it off, and I'll take my daughter back, and I'll continue brainwashing her. So following the bombing of Bloodhaven on Deathstroke's orders,
oh no,
in Infinite Crisis, Nightwing returns immediately and informs Rose that she's like, no, he did it for the right reasons. Like, he would never betray you or me. Like, he must have had his reasons. He's always right. And he just very quietly turns around and informed Rose that the kryptonite her father implanted in her eye socket to fight Superman that long ago, and that's still there, is not just a danger to the Kryptonians, but is also lethal to humans under extended periods of prolonged exposure.
Yeah, and right next to your brain as well.
Right next to your brain. So he very she's like coming at him with anger, and he's very quietly just like, do you not realise that the guy you think is amazing has stuck in... He's after sticking a time bomb in your brain and is going to just give you serious illness very soon.
It's so radioactive. We can't stress this enough.
It's green. That should be all you need to know.
Why is it in your face?
Don't put anything green in your face. That's what I've always gone off.
Unless it's spinach.
And you need a load of that because it boils down, Sean.
Oh,
you end up with
the bag, there's nothing in it.
And so, he's just like, you need to leave because he's trying to kill you. He doesn't give a shit about you. He's just using you to try and kill shit. And so she realises this, and she's enraged and heartbroken that her father would endanger her life. And emboldened by Nightwing's tutelage, Rose breaks all ties with her father and runs away.
Okay, the grown-up thing to do.
The grown-up thing to do. But since that time, Rose has broken away from her father's control, with some help from her mentor. But also, a nice thing that happens after this is that Rose, after the serum, of course, ran its course inside her, that Deathstroke was injecting her, she returns to sanity, and she was actually granted membership back to the Teen Titans at the request of Nightwing. And so Nightwing asked Tim Drake to do him a favour.
Oh, you've said this to me before, that, like, he's not a member of the Teen Titans because he's, a grown man now, but, like, he has so much sway with them because he's, like, the old guard.
And he's, like, the leader. He's still the leader. So if he shows up, everyone still listens to him.
That's cool. And so he's still like, no, trust me, she's good.
Yeah, and Tim Drake's like, she's clearly not right in the head. And Nightwing's like, I vouch for her. She's pretty good. And now Nightwing has done that with Damian Wayne as well in the New 52. So he's like, I vouch for them. And if something goes wrong, you can blame me. But right now, I think that they're on the way up and there's good in them.
Okay, and sometimes that's all people need to hear as well. That someone believes in them.
And so once a dangerous and unstable adversary, it may be some time before obviously all of her teammates fully trust her, but and she initially clashed with Wonder Girl as well, but at the end of it I think she did start to slowly fit in. Now they didn't really trust her fully. It wasn't until Rose got to show where her loyalty stood when the Titans Tower got breached by a group called the Terror Titans, which, I mean, it's just a different type of Titans.
Well, and imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
And they turned up to the Titans Tower, and Rose was the only one there. And Ravager would not go down without a fight, so showing great display of heart and fighting ability, Ravager was able to hold the whole group off long enough for Wendy Harris and Marvin White, who work in the Titans Tower, to get out before it blew up.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So she fucking properly put her life on the line.
Yeah, and so she shows there that she is good. And I'll finish with this, because there's a story called Death Trap, and this is kind of where she leaves the Titans, but it's not in a bad way, because there's a story called Death Trap in which Jericho, the brother I mentioned a long time ago, he's blinded. Like, both of his eyes get ripped out, right? And so, after the events of Death Trap, Rose returns to the Titans Tower with the rest of the gang. And obviously this was really controversial with the members of the Titans, being that Rose was still such a loose cannon at the time, and some of them really wanted her to stick around, but Rose continued to feel as if she wasn't wanted. She wasn't entirely sure what she wanted either. She went through her three options. She either could track down Deathstroke, take care of her blind brother, or stick with the Titans. They were her three options. And she and Wonder Girl were still fighting, and at the time she didn't know what she wanted. So at this point, I think she has left the Titans to be like, I need to find out who I am before I can join this team again, because I'm always trying to listen to whether it's my mom or whether it's Deathstroke or Nightwing, no matter how nice he is, or now I'm part of the Titans. I need to figure out who I am just by myself.
That makes a lot of sense. Like, she's just been kind of going from place to place ever since I suppose she killed Ravager, and Deathstroke just kind of handed her around for a while.
Yeah.
So now she's making a decision for herself.
Before my powers and abilities, by the way, I have 2 quick pieces of trivia, and one is Rose has once had a brief conversation with Miss Martian before running off, and Miss Martian declared that Rose was too complicated to be pegged as good or evil, which is just it's an interesting, like, Miss Martian could read everyone's mind, so she was like, you're too complicated to be pegged as one or the other.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And is that the only person she's ever done that for?
It's not said if, but it'd probably be one of very, very few that could not be brought down on one side or the other. Miss Martian is, like, she can read all of your thoughts, and even, which implies to me that Rose doesn't even know if she's good or evil.
Right, okay. Dude.
And also, she has entered herself in a competition, a tournament called the Dark Side Tournament, which is a fighting tournament, that's held by loads of bad guys. They all get together and they all fight each other. And she joined that tournament and has won it repeatedly, but she refuses to kill anyone, suggesting that she isn't all as bad as everyone wants to think that she is.
Okay, so she, like... But the thing is, in that tournament, she could kill everyone if she wanted to.
Oh, yes, she could absolutely kill, but she has specifically chosen... She's in, like, a fighting cage with loads of killers, and she doesn't kill any of them.
Interesting. Oh, so she's properly true neutral, like...
Yeah, like, fully. She's Switzerland. That is who she is.
Okay, I'm with you now. Perfect.
And so, powers and abilities. She has precognition. She's sometimes able to use her precognition... Precognitive? Oh no, I've got this wrong. I got it right. Go on, please.
Precognitive.
Thank you. Ability to see her opponent's next moves. Although her visions come and go, mainly it appears to manifest when her adrenaline is running. So she can see her opponent's next moves, which by itself is an absolutely badass skill to have. But what if I told you that her attributes are also enhanced because of the serum that Slade gave her?
Holy shit.
So she's got super strength, speed, reflexes, durability, healing, etc. They pass all of peak. So she's got all of Deathstroke's powers, along with the ability to see her opponent's next moves, which he does not have.
That is... Oh, so this is when you said at the start that she could surpass Deathstroke.
Yes.
Like, she really properly could, couldn't she?
Oh, and she's been trained by Deathstroke and Nightwing, so she's full neutral in her training as well.
And it's so much more, because they've fought each other so many times.
Yeah, and they're the both sides of the coin. It's like she was trained by Batman and Joker.
Holy fuck.
Obviously, unarmed combat, she's an expert and a weapons master. So she's a complete weapons master. She has all of Deathstroke's powers, and more.
Wow.
Yeah.
And presumably a lot of this has been ruined because of the new 52.
In terms of ruined, I wouldn't say that. I think she still has some powers in the current continuity, but it doesn't take an adrenaline rush to trigger it. Sometimes maybe it's not as strong. They haven't fully nerfed her yet, but I'm sure before the new 52 she definitely was, like, so powerful.
Yeah, like a threat to anyone.
Yeah, and that's why they wanted her to be... Like, the Titans were trying so hard to get her to join them, because if she's on the other side, you are fucked.
That's true. It's like fighting your worst enemy twice at that point.
Yeah. So, yes, and I mean, I just love the idea that, like, she's as skilled as Deathstroke, but she also can see into the future, so she knows your next moves.
Before you even know them, probably.
Yeah. So what do you think of... I was going to say Wade Wilson. What do you think of Rose Wilson or Ravager?
She seems like a straight badass that I've not heard anything about before.
She is also, my other tiny bit of trivia is that she's constantly trying to fight Cassandra Cain again, because it really annoys her that she lost that one time.
She wants to, like, at least even the score.
She's also challenged a literal god. Big Barda is another hero in DC, and she's basically a god, and Rose has asked her multiple times to fight her, because she doesn't give a shit.
Right, okay, and does she accept?
It hasn't gone through, because Big Barda just keeps laughing at her.
She's like, you're not only are you human, you're a child.
You're like 17, if we're going to go by it. And I know you're ultimately so powerful, but you're like 17. At least wait a few years.
Yeah, at least make it so I'm not a child killer at the end of this.
Yeah, so that is Rose Wilson, Shaun.
What a fucking amazing character. She's like, in many ways she might be more powerful than Deathstroke one day. She's also more nuanced than Deathstroke in a lot of ways, because Deathstroke comes from a time in comics where a backstory could just be he was a mercenary and he injected himself with some stuff. But sorry,
she also has only one eye now, which
is also true.
She has to just have.
Yeah, and it's probably always reminds her of her father as well, and like who he is and what he does.
And what he did to her.
Yeah. Oh, man. Vaguely tragic, the story of Rose Wilson.
Vaguely tragic. That's why she's such a good character, because I think she's the most neutral. Like, there's probably a few very neutral characters. She's one of them that, like, depending on the story... you hear the term anti-hero a lot, but depending on the story, she could go either side. It really depends on how she feels about a certain situation.
Yeah, like it is down to what she judges to be kind of what she wants to do at that time.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell her to do something else, because she will just fuck you up.
Oh yeah, try and make her do something she doesn't want to do.
She'll chop out your eyes.
And then replace them with kryptonite, slowly poisoning you. I still can't get over how they just let that happen.
Do you want to take us out, Shaun?
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast, or there's a link to that in the description. We've been saying it all week, but be sure to tune in on Movie Mondays, because we do have an exciting Patreon announcement coming up for the Christmas and festive season. We're also on all of the social medias. They're all linked down below. Or you can email us, heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But we ask two things of you for the coming week. One is to leave a review or a like on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. And the second is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
Please. We're simple men. Very simple men.
I can't say precognitive. Wait, no, I did.
Oh, Connor, it's a Christmas miracle.
Damn it, when the report is over. Shit.
But yeah, I think that's about it, Connor.
Yeah, so I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.